We in there. We in there. We in there.
Guilty. What it do? What it do?
Right.
You gonna get an introduction, Joe?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. What up? What up? What up, man? Hey, listen. Welcome to another episode of Punch Count with your boy Joe Prophet and my player partner God TV Boxing, a little better known as Ace Boogie. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man. It's a lot of things, bro, went on in this boxing this past weekend. You know, let's just go and get into it, man. We had Terrence Bud Crawford against Israel Madrimov, 12-round, 154-pound WBA title shot. We thought it was gonna be a tough fight, but it was a hell of a fight. Some people thought Bud won it fairly easy. Some people thought it was tough for Bud, and some people even thought Bud lost. I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Ace? What you think about that, man?
I want to say the whole card for one, it was fire. You know, that was one of the most fire cards that we got in a long time, probably if ever. You know what I mean? And I'm happy it wasn't just an easy fight, and it was competitive. But remember what I'm saying, though. I'm saying it was a competitive fight. I think it was competitive. I don't think it was close.
Right.
Definitely, I had Bud winning 9-3. If somebody had it 8-4, I wouldn't be mad at that. But if we're talking round for round, scoring the rounds, it wasn't a close fight. Now, it was definitely competitive, though. And Madrimov, he showed a lot more patience than he usually showed. When I was doing film on Madrimov, you know, he looked like a reckless fighter. He looked like a guy who just rushes in to try to get his shots off and not very defensively responsible. He got wide punches, a wide stance, you know, everything. And he didn't do any of that during the fight with Crawford. So it showed the amount of respect he had for Crawford. And I even hear people like talking about the lack of power that Crawford had up there. I don't think it was a lack of power. I seen him hurt Madrimov a couple of times in the fight. And on top of that, Madrimov fought a good fight. He wasn't there to be knocked out, you know, and you got to give him credit on that.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that people didn't really understand. Like Madrimov was there to beat Bud ass. He wasn't playing no game. And what you really got to put into perspective is, you know, yeah, this guy had over 300 amateur fights, but the thing is, he only had 11 pro fights, and he fought arguably the #1 pound for pound fighter in the world like that. So for that guy to do, you know, to put on a performance like that against Terrence Bud Crawford, like, you got to give your hats off to Madrimov. He's a tough competitor, and I feel like, I mean, this guy is bad news for anybody in the super welterweight division, and I mean anybody, including the former king Jermell Charlo. You know, I mean, yeah.
I'm actually interested in the Madrimov versus Boots fight. You know, Boots seemed like he interested in the fight, so I want to see that. And I wanted to say too, I wanted to explain the reason why I feel the fight wasn't close and it was only competitive. Because yeah, Madrimov didn't get super hurt in the fight. He didn't get dropped. You know, it was no super dominant rounds from Bud. No. But when they were exchanging, when shots were being fired, I seen Madrimov shooting one punch at a time. While Bud, whenever Madrimov did come in and try to go with his offense, Bud will respond back with a combo, with a combination. So he's automatically and throwing more punches in that moment.
Yeah.
So I gotta give it to Bud in those moments if he's outscoring the guy and landing better shots.
That's the name of the game. Yeah, it's the name of the game.
Yeah. Just because we see Madrimov land the overhand or a straight punch or two, it doesn't give him the round. Now it's a great moment in the round, and it makes the round fun to watch and competitive. But it's not. You don't give a guy a round just because he has some good moments in it. Especially if a guy is, you know, if he's landing one punch and the guy across from him is throwing combinations and landing combinations.
Right. I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you on that, man. It's like, that's why I said before, like, because people would say, "Oh, this guy's a bum, Bud's gonna knock him out," blah blah blah. I'm like, listen, if Bud stops this guy, hey, he's already the guy. He's already legendary. But man, that is highly impressive if Bud was to stop Madrimal. Now I heard Boots' daddy say that Boots would stop Madrimal. Man, Bozy, I know that's your son and you love him to death, man. But you gotta chill out. You gotta chill out. If anything, Madrimal might stop Boots. I'm just saying. Like that guy's solid. He's a solid super welterweight. He can move very well. We know that we know that Boots has problems with guys that can move very well, i.e. Karen. And I think that hey, Madrimal might move better than Karen, bro. The movements he was doing, Bud couldn't even time that shit. Like that was a problem for Bud. You know what I'm saying? Although he was catching with the combinations in between some shots, that little crazy movement he was doing this shit was insane, bro. Don't lie.
So I think with Boots' technical flaws that he has, he definitely can be hurt or even stopped by a Madrimov, because he has a lot of bad technical flaws. Now the thing is, he is definitely naturally skilled. He has power, and if he moved up, will his power become stronger? Will he gain more power because he is a big guy at 147? Or, is that the limit to his power? 147 would be the question. Because it could be possible that he is a bit stronger than Bud up there. But, I think due to the bad technique, though, I think he definitely can be exposed by a guy like Madrimov.
Right. I mean, because Madrimov, the thing, like you say, the glaring flaws that Boots has, Madrimov can expose it with that one punch that he was hitting Bud with, that fucking straight right. And we know that, I mean, it's been fights that Boots was getting that shit plastered on his face. And you going up to the next weight class with a guy that knows how to set that punch up and really, you know what I mean? I don't know, bro. Boots and Madrimov, I like the fight, but I think Madrimov stops him. Now, better I like for Boots right now, and me and you talked about this, Boots and Brian Norman Jr. Damn. That's a fight that I need to see because not only is it a unification fight at super welterweight, but it's a fight that's gonna let me know where both fighters are at in their career. Because they pretty much the same age. I feel like Brian Norman got a way better record than Boots, but Boots got way more hype than Brian Norman.
Well, he got a better record, but a better resume.
Better resume, I'm sorry. Better resume, yeah. Better resume than Brian. You know what I mean? I feel like Brian Norman's fought better competition. I feel like Boots, like I say, Boots got the hype behind him. He got the whole city of Philly behind him. I feel like that's a nice clash, Atlanta and Philly. I feel like that's a fight that's really slept on. I feel like that's a fight that ain't nobody talking about, Ace, but me and you. You know what I mean? So I feel like, we need to do what Turkey. Hey, Turkey out of sheep. You talking about you want to make these big fights? That's a big fight that you can make right now, for sure. And you putting that together in Saudi Arabia it's a problem.
Especially with the fact that Brian Norman built a bit of a name from the rumors, not saying if it's true or if it's not true, but he built the name off the rumors of stopping Bud and sparring. So
right.
For Boots to beat a guy like that, whether it's true or not, it still puts some little, it kind of puts some spice on him and Crawford's fight they can possibly have.
Sure. I agree. All right, now let's move along into that, that super fight weekend. We're gonna get a little away from the fights and talk about a little situation that happened, during a fight or in the middle of a fight. And I'm speaking about Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson.
Come on. He said, "Come on, we can come on right now."
He said, "Yeah." That was a funny exchange because one thing about it, I mean, it should happen naturally. It's just funny that we're seeing it. Lomachenko and Canelo are like they're starting to speak way better English. It's crazy, like as they should, but. I mean, I could have sworn a couple of fights ago, Canelo still had a damn translator. It was insane, But Loma, the thing that irritated me about it is not necessarily the back and forth with Shakur Stevenson, because I feel like that should happen. I mean, that's a potential fight. It could, But bro, I thought you said you wanted to go on vacation. Like, what you doing? You supposed to be on vacation with your wife and your family, doing whatever the fuck you said you was gonna be doing for the rest of 2024. But here you are at a boxing fight, and not only you at a boxing fight, you out here harassing somebody that you could be fighting. You could be fighting.
No, is Loma harassing Shakur? Is that the case?
I call that harassment, dog. It's like, what you even talking to me for, bro?
So Loma approached Shakur, or was it Shakur approached Loma?
I mean, I saw a little clip. I didn't see who approached who. I just saw them both going back and forth, and me seeing that little video, I was annoyed. Even if Shakur pressed him, cool. I mean, you know what? Shakur should have pressed him. Are you not on vacation? Wait, this don't look like a vacation, baby. Like, what you doing here? You had a boxing fight. That means you still got that fighting spirit. I mean, you still want to rumble. So why you saying you want to go on vacation when it's time to fight Tank? You want to move out the way so I can fight Tank.
I mean,
but here we are at this fight, and you act like you want to do something.
It could be a good chance, though, Joe, that he was invited to the fight. Los Angeles definitely a bit of a vacation.
We know that. We know that's Bob's guy.
So we don't want to be too hard on him because he probably really is on vacation. He probably just going to the biggest fight card made this year within the past few years,
Okay, yeah, sure.
And if anything, we know how Shakur energy is. He probably pushed up on Loma, if anything.
Right. Yeah, it's all good. Like I said, it just annoyed me to see Loma that hype. I'm like, bro, if you that hype, you could fight, bro. Don't fight Tank without that energy, or fight Shakur. Either or is fine with me. But you doing that and not about to fight is just it's just strange to me, man. I know he's affiliated with Top Rank. I know they love him. I know they brought him in. Hey, man, I get it, dog. I get it.
It was more of a case of I think it was more of a case of Loma defending himself and just not going out like no sucker. He like, you ain't finna be just approaching me with some bullshit and think I'ma just sit there and listen to you. You know what I mean? But what I did like, what I will take out of it, I did like that Shakur did push up on Loma. Because remember, it was a certain point we were saying, Shakur, you showing a lot of respect to Loma, but you disrespecting your own partner. So, I like that he showed that same energy to Lomachenko. He's showing like, yeah, I want to fight all these dudes, same energy. You know what I mean? I like that.
Well,
who do you got winning in the Shakur and Loma fight?
Who am I picking?
Yeah, who you got winning?
I like Shakur in the fight. I feel like Shakur knows what to do with that style that Loma brings. Even though Loma is, I don't know, Loma, he showed some grit in them later rounds too. So I don't know. That's a real 50-50 fight, bro. But I'm gonna have to lean towards Shakur because I feel like he'll make it a little more technical and he'll find ways to evade actually getting into a firefight with Loma. And lean on his boxing ability to pull out the win, and not necessarily probably even, bring the fight to Loma at all. You know what I mean? Like a Teofimo Lopez or something like that. I feel like Shakur just, back foot him, 1-2 him, I think that's how you pull out the win. Something like that. So you got the deep voice going on now. I'm pretty sure the viewers are wondering what's going on.
Loma can definitely lose if he takes that 12th round off.
Okay, so you said Loma could lose if it goes 12 round?
Yeah, if he take that 12th round off, it can be trouble for him.
Do you think Loma can he stop? I mean, can a Shakur stop Lomachenko?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it in two different voices. No,
No.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Shakur has the power to stop a Lomachenko. You know, I think it's highly doubtful, but I do think he can win on points. I do think he can pull out the dub. You know, split decision. You know, maybe even a majority. But I don't know. Loma got them tricky punches. Like he might could catch Shakur with some crazy shit to the body. Have Shakur leaning over crazy. You know, I'm ready. I'm ready for that.
My only question when it comes to Shakur is just how much can he take? You know what I mean? I don't think that any of us as fans is really seeing. You know, what's the amount of punishment can you really handle? Because when it is that guy in front of you who's able to touch you consistently, you know, how long can you last? That's the question. Because it's going to be that guy that come. It's going to be that guy who give you a real fight. You
That's
know?
a fact. Yeah.
You ain't going to be perfect and untouched your whole career. So what I think that's the big question is, what are you going to do in this situation?
Right. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking to, especially when it comes to Shakur Stevenson. Like, what is it gonna be when this guy has to face adversity in the ring? And we're not talking about, you know, the preconceived, you know, adversity, a hand before a fight, or being sick, or not like that. Like actually in the fight, you know, you actually facing adversity, fighting through it like a true champion. You know, I think that's what I think that's what a lot of people are looking for, you know, with Shakur Stevenson, because you're hearing a lot of people talking about it, how they've seen it in the amateurs and other places, in the Olympics, you know, so, some even, you know, through his career at 130 and 26, you know, but 35 is different. You know, the lightweight class, it's a glorified division for a reason. You know what I mean? The competition is a little tougher. You know what I mean? Them guys a little, they hit a little harder.
Yes, sir. What happened? What happened? Uh-oh, it looked like we having some technical difficulties going on. The sound not too good on YouTube. On whose side? On my side? Which sound ain't good, lunatic? That sound better? What was it? What's wrong? What was wrong with the sound? The deep voice, the first. Oh yeah, you right. You right. Yep, you right. I noticed that. That's why I changed it like that. I noticed that it wasn't coming through how it was supposed to. I probably gotta mess with the settings a little bit. I wish y'all can hear these sound bites. That's what I really want to try to make work is these sound bites on here.
Awesome.
I don't know what happened to Joe, but I'm gonna go ahead and carry on for y'all. You know what I mean?
See, one thing, right? One thing you got to know about Shakur Stevenson and who was we just talking about, Lomachenko? They both top ranked fighters. And top ranked fighters, they get catered to. But yo, what the hell? Why is just me now?
What's going on, dog?
Can you hear me?
Haven't seen- Yep.
Yeah. All right, man. Had some technical difficulties with the camera. Battery definitely just died. Anyway, all right.
The labby?
Huh?
You ain't using the labby?
Yeah, I am now.
You ain't got a camera on your laptop?
Yeah, I do. Let me see.
You trying to see Joe be liking to have the HD exclusive
You know what I'm saying?
4K camera.
Can you see it?
I see the OSOS. If you can't get it working though, you know it ain't a big deal, but I'm pretty sure you could.
There you go. All right.
There you go.
See how I appeared in like a Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, nigga.
Now that was kind of sick right there. I ain't gonna lie.
All right. Jared Bacoli. I said Jared Bacoli. Jared Anderson, Martin Bacoli. You know what I'm saying? Crazy fight. We knew that was going to be the fight of the night. You know what I'm saying? And it ended up being just that. Like it was a hell of a performance from Martin Bacoli. I thought Jared Anderson didn't take him serious. I feel like Jared Anderson, I don't know, man. I'm real big on energy. And when they did the face-off and he started dancing, doing that, I said, yeah, he's getting knocked the fuck out. I don't even know why, bro. I saw that and it was insane, man. It was insane. Are you about to pull it up? Okay, no.
You said do it look like he looked? You said, do he look nervous? And everybody was like, no. You know, I was already on your side. I'm like, man, I think he might be a little nervous, man.
Yeah, I mean, and he should have been because Bacoli, that fool was. I ain't gonna lie, it's something about that quiet confidence that I love. Like when Mark Bacoli, when he started talking that shit, like, hey man, I was just like, whoa. You know, he was like, hey, this guy, you know, if he has heart, he'll survive 8th round. If he doesn't have heart, he won't last. He won't. I take him out immediately. I said, whoa.
I want to point something out for the audience as well too.
Yeah.
You know, this video was done before the fight, as y'all can see.
Right.
We was asking the question in the video: will Bacoli take advantage of Jared's flaws? And that's why y'all need to come to the channel to get your information, because you can definitely make a good bet off of the underdog when you do your research.
Absolutely, because Martin Bacoli for the knockout. Bacoli was like plus 105, but for the knockout, to pick the knockout and the exact round, yeah, and then don't get no better than that. That was definitely good money. That was definitely good money. So this is Charles Martin.
My fault. Go ahead.
No, we're looking at this Charles Martin and Jared Anderson. And you know, we talked about how late in the fight Charles Martin started exposing some of Jared Anderson's flaws, like, you know, the going straight back and these lunging punches that where he's open for the uppercut or the hook, no defense, you know. But listening to Jared talk after the fight and knowing that he's aware of this and still doing it, it's mind-boggling to me.
I don't think it's something that you just stop doing over one fight, though. You know, I think that's why fighters is moved a certain way, so they could break those habits later in time, get tougher challenges, so they understand that, you know, them habits can get you in trouble without actually taking that loss. Only issue though You know, he was going up against Bacoli, which this wasn't a top ranked fight, so it wasn't something that he was protected in. It was a real fight that he definitely wasn't ready for.
Yeah, 100% was not ready.
You know, as you can see early on in this Charles Martin fight, it's 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the fight. It's only 20 seconds into the fight. He's throwing a jab, and look where his hand is at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Face wide open. All it takes is a confident heavyweight to take advantage of shit like that.
Right.
To go, I take the punch to give it to him. Look, he did it again right after, another 20 seconds after. Look, did it again.
Right.
Opposite. You know,
That's crazy.
it's disgusting because it's like, bro, y'all supposed to be professionals. How are you doing these type of things? It's consistent too. That's why I knew it'd be an issue because he's so consistent with not having that guard up.
Right. What do you think about people saying he's trying to fight like Shakur Stevenson?
I don't think he's trying to fight like Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't see that.
I think he's a guy who's used to being big, so he can fight kind of like a smaller guy, but he should have the fundamentals on top of having those natural reflexes and agility and shit like that, you know? And I say it right here, I explain, as you can see, Jared has a bad habit of dropping his guard when he throws a punch. So, I was just letting them know what they was looking out for. Keep looking out for that. Also, watch how Jared pulls straight back with his hands down a lot.
Yeah, that was a glaring one that we saw, like straight back, like
right
straight
there.
back.
And then the guard is down through all of these clips. Every punch, that guard is down. Now, you see where it was just at by his hip. His body
now, if we look at this Bacoli fight and we see these same punches, and you see how, man, Bacoli got so crazy. You could tell Bacoli was working on that in his camp. Like he was working on uppercutting that shit, like on both sides, right and left uppercut.
Look, pulling straight back with his hands down twice, 3 times.
Yeah, once Charles Martin seen that too, he capitalized on that. That uppercut. See him now, he's using uppercut. Charles Martin started using the uppercut.
But he got that too, that straight punch.
That straight.
Like, okay, he like, you pulling straight.
Yeah, he didn't even try to graze him with the jab. He just started straight too.
Look, guard down still. He ain't picked up his guard not one point of this fight. It's crazy. Boom. And this is like what I say about Boots. We see these guys, they look good, they flashy, but when you doing this type of shit, you will be exposed for it against the wrong fighter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And if you really watching, they already get exposed for it. Like, this is a fight Jared definitely got exposed for this shit. It's just people didn't pay attention to it because he won. But look, you see what just happened at the end?
Yeah. Absolutely. Charles Martin damn near closed the show on that boy, but yeah, that was crazy.
He got it done because Bacoli is a real heavyweight. He can eat a shot, and he's able to, he can give what he's taking. Like, you know what I mean? Pause.
Right. Absolutely he can. Yeah, absolutely can.
When I watched my fault.
No, go ahead.
I was saying when I watched the Bacoli versus Michael Hunter fight, that's what really gave me the confidence in Bacoli, because how I thought the fight went, how people was explaining in the room, like, yeah, he lost to Michael Hunter, he got stopped by him, and they made it seem like it was a one-sided fight. I go to watch it, and he was, it was a competitive fight.
On Michael Hunter.
Yeah, it was a real good fight, bro. It like, I was mad I didn't get to see it live because it was that good. And Bacoli actually hurt Michael Hunter several times in the fight. To me, he damn near was probably winning. But Michael Hunter did pull it off at the end. But how I was looking at it, Jared fight kind of similar to a Michael Hunter, but he's a bigger target. He's easier to hit than Michael Hunter would be. You know?
Right. I agree with that.
Bacoli was touching Michael Hunter. So if he able to get hands on Michael Hunter, who's a smaller, probably a little bit more agile heavyweight, he for sure go touch Jared.
Man, okay. Now we get to the nitty-gritty right here, man. El Rayo Pitbull. What a fight.
Don't-
El Rayo and Isaac Cruz, man. To be honest, I didn't know what version of El Rayo we were gonna get in the fight, but I'm glad he came with I'm glad he came how he came. You know what I mean? Like El Rayo put on a boxing clinic. That's one fight where I really felt like the other fighter won all 12 rounds. I don't think Pitbull won a single round. You know, we can go back and watch. You know, we mostly do go back and watch these fights, but you know, when you think about it, like, hey, Pitbull didn't win a single round. He did the same shit for 12 rounds. El Rayo stayed on the outside, boxed him up, jabbed him, put the jab on him all night, hit him with some combos, some body shots, you know, stunned him a couple times, flustered him, hurt him.
Yeah, that was a fight I was definitely wrong about because I thought, I always thought El Rayo was the better boxer, and I actually like El Rayo more. I'm more of a fan, but I thought that his durability would probably be questionable after his track record of being hurt, being knocked out. So I kind of misjudged that part of it, and he showed up. And like I asked the room, I'm gonna ask YouTube, who do y'all think did better, Tank or El Rayo against Pitbull Cruz? Now, before y'all start throwing the hand excuse out there, let you know the hand got hurt around the 5th or 6th round, right? Right, Joe?
Right.
Fifth or sixth round?
That's what he said.
Okay,
So the
so
Stolen Glove maybe said it was like 5th or 6th round. Okay.
who did better them first 6 rounds then? You know?
And it's definitely going to be, people that that didn't watch or don't even know what they're looking at. Because like I said, I mean, I think El Rayo won all 12 rounds. I don't know if Tank won every single round of that fight.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't think he won every single round of that fight. That's why it's making this El Rayo and Tank a little enticing. I think I want to see that.
And mind you, I showed you the Tank clips that the fight wasn't exactly what it looked like seeing it live. But El Rayo still did better, and it was clear that he did better. I don't have to show a tape.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, and now I was looking at some shit to see like what was next for El Rayo, and man, they had it was some interesting shit, bro. Like it was him and De Los Santos too. Tank Davis. Let me pull this list up again right quick. Just a second. Okay, boom. You got Tank Davis, Alberto Puello, De Los Santos 2, Frank Martin, or him and Pitbull Cruz 2. So clearly him and Pitbull ain't got no rematch clause. So I don't know. Out of those, I mean, what do you like next for El Rayo?
So Frank Martin, Pitbull, or De Los Santos?
Yeah.
I want to see De Los Santos versus Frank Martin.
Right.
But I guess Frank Martin, then maybe De Los Santos. Pitbull, I think should go in a different direction. It ain't really too much. I don't think it's too much Pitbull gonna be able to do with El Rayo at this point. Now you just go get a more confident, more aware El Rayo to come to the ring and do what he have to do against you because he already beat you and he already know the game plan to beat you. He know what you bringing. He know what your most powerful shot feel like, and he know he can take it.
Right. So you think you think a more confident El Rayo? How does that fight go with him and Pitbull? Like, is he knocking him out? Is he?
I think he do Pitbull way worse than he did this first fight, and he can possibly get a stoppage against a Pitbull in the second fight because I think he know exactly what he in there against, and he might even throw his hands more like he did against Chris Colbert in a rematch.
Oh, look at this right here. What you think about this? What the lunatic said? He said he'd rather see a Rayo on Matias.
I think that's a good fight.
That's a good ass fight.
I want to see it down the line though. I think kind of fucked up that El Rayo got to get tossed in all these crazy ass fights.
After just becoming a champion.
And it's not doing nothing for him either, though. It's not like him facing all these challenging fights put him in some type of superstar position. Nah, he's been getting the short end of the stick every time. So it's like, for him, that's the one fighter I'd be like, damn, he can use an easy touch or two.
Give him a tune-up for just getting the belt, you know what I'm saying? Bring him in. Shouldn't be nothing crazy.
And I wouldn't even say like a crazy tune-up, but just something that's not so dangerous for the kid. Like, you know, we don't want to destroy him before he got 20 fights. You know what I mean?
Right. Man. All right. We're coming towards the end, man. We're going Big Baby, Miller, and Andy Ruiz. What you feel about that fight?
Outside of the popular opinion, I thought Ruiz was winning the fight. But I wasn't mad at the draw. My mom actually asked me, who you got winning this fight? I said, I think they probably gonna have a score to draw. They doing pretty similar work in there. At times they both getting tired. I think Ruiz personally was landing more clean shots as Miller was applying the pressure and trying to come in. I thought Ruiz was landing some good hooks, jabbing him at times, you know, and they both just had moments where they got hella tired and wasn't doing anything. So, you know, it's easy to call it a draw in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the first half of the fight I had Ruiz winning, but I felt like towards the end, you know, Miller started showing a lot of grit, you know, a lot of poise. Like, he was actually boxing. I didn't really ping him, you know, as a boxer like that, more of a brawler, you know what I mean? But he was boxing his ass off, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I wasn't really too mad about the draw. I mean, you could have leaned a little towards Miller. You could have leaned a little towards Ruiz. So, I mean, the draw, I mean, it made sense. I mean, it was, and they partners too, I guess, you know what I mean? It was good.
The draw was actually the perfect conclusion. They both went in there, fought their ass off.
Right.
And like you said, they partners. It was super respectful during the build up. They talk shit in a respectful right way. And it came out to be a draw. It just showed like the type of respect they had was necessary because they both came to do. They both damn near did the same exact shit. Like I said, in my opinion, they fought hard. At moments, they was winded. You can see it. You know what I mean? It was a good fight though.
No, facts.
Now, what I want to see, what I'm interested in, is the big babies to fight each other now.
Hey, the battle of the big babies. Who's the real big baby? I want to see that. And, you know, especially with all the shit that's been going on. I seen a little video, you know, they had our boy Teray. You know, we had Teray up here on the show on OSOS podcast before he went with Ray Ford over to Saudi Arabia to go defend his title against Nick Ball. Okay, so the video I looked at, you know, Teray, he's coming through the lobbies, you know, big baby's talking shit, and they kind of bump into each other, and he kind of like, you know, puts his arm in that motion, and then big baby, you know, comes on the bullying motion. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's coming on the bullying motion, like. But you know, Teray stood his ground, like, you know, he not tripping on nothing he talking about, blase. You know, then Jerry Miller, I said, yeah, Jerry Miller, then he pushes Teray. You know, but Teray still stands his ground. But it was just interesting because to me, with Miller, I was just like, I don't really know how I felt about that because, you know, you're pushing on a guy that's, I mean, way smaller than you. I mean, Teray got to be like maybe 170 pounds.
Yeah, you know.
And then it was like 305.
I don't like giving too much public opinions, like my personal opinions on fighters publicly.
Yeah.
But we've been had certain thoughts about Jared even way before this. And, you know, if he mentally capable or stable or whatever the situation is, But I think he can bounce back. I think he had the right. I wanted to put this out there. I think he had the right mentality after the fight because sometimes it's not about how you take your wins; it's how you take your losses. And I think he handled his well. You
Right.
know, the first thing he said is that he make mistakes, and I respect anybody who acknowledge their own mistakes because you can always fix it if you're aware of it.
If you're aware of it. But some people can be aware and do nothing. Let's
But
just
that
hope.
depends on how bad they want it. So you just letting us know if you really the champion we should believe in or not. That's up to you.
I mean, I feel like this situation is gonna do one or two things. Is it gonna bring the best? We're gonna see the best Jared Anderson moving forward, or it's gonna completely break this dude, and this will be it.
I think it'd be sad. I think whoever around him need to be telling them like, hey, you do have the potential that we trying to build around you. You just got to know it, and you got to
Right.
be willing to. But I don't know. Like, is it bad coaching if a guy is still making those type of mistakes during the fight? Because you're seeing it during practice for sure. You got to.
Right. Clearly they do because they're telling him he's aware of it. He says, but he also said he's not listening to the corner. So is it the training? Because he said they're telling him what to do.
Yeah.
He's not listening.
I mean, yeah. So
this is coming out of his mouth. This is not me guessing or looking, or it's literally what he said.
To me, they whole little circle move it the exact same way. They all have similar traits. I think
By that you mean
Keyshawn might be the most disciplined out of everybody, in my opinion. It seemed like, I could be wrong, but maybe that's because Bomac in this corner, and that's more of a name that you gotta give that respect to. Then you know you will want to listen to this person. He's definitely giving you the right advice.
I agree with that. I mean, you definitely want to listen to Bomac. I mean, he looks like he doesn't even know anything about working out or boxing, but this guy's a guru. Like, he's a problem. I've seen Bomac in action. Like, he is a damn problem. Like, you think he's just sitting there and doing nothing. He's downloading information, writing shit down. He's studying. Like, it is crazy watching this guy. Like,
the thing is, though, you can have a crazy fight IQ.
Right.
Like, in this why I think when people use you ain't never boxed before, you can use that to an extent, but I think if a person fought, if they've been punched in the face, you should have an understanding of what it feel like.
Right.
I think that's the issue. People act like they don't know what getting punched in the face feel like. They expect these fighters to do things that a human ain't capable of.
Right. After getting slid in the face, man, it's true. Listen, man. No, I mean, hey, man, listen. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Punch Count. Hey, listen, before we get out of here, Ace, man, tell them where they can catch you at, and let them know what you got going on.
Yeah, you can catch me on YouTube, GLD TV Boxing. We got the punch counts on there where we give the accurate punch count, not the comp you box, and you get to see it yourself. Every single punch that lands, zoomed in, freeze frame. Man, it was good talking with y'all. OSOS, GOD TV, man. We got more episodes coming for sure.
Y'all know what it is with us, man. You see the little scroll down there, man. Subscribe. Y'all know what to do, man. We'll see y'all next time on this Punch Count, man. And shout out to Lunatic. Do that one time, man. We know you know what it feels like. Shout out to my boy.